The game might be over, but we're just getting started. Welcome to the Todd Fox Post-Game Podcast, your go-to spot for real, unfiltered Angels talk, win or lose, on the Halos in the Infield network. You never know what's going to happen. Walk-offs, meltdowns, heroics, or straight-up typical Angels disasters. We're breaking it all down. Who stepped up and took home the Golden Stamos, the most prestigious award in baseball? And who embarrassed themselves so badly they're stuck with the dreaded Nacho Night Award? Drop your comments, call in, and sound off. We're reading them all. So like, share, subscribe, and buckle up, because this show pulls no punches. And yes, Anthony Rendon is still a fragile little bitch. Take it away, Todd.
I'm a fox. My name's Todd.
Hey, welcome in everybody to the Halos in the Infield post-game show with your host Todd Fox on the only place where you get real talk from real Angel fans who really go to the games and who have really played in baseball games professionally and semi-pro. So there you go. So with that being said, on the Halos in the Infield network, we want to welcome you in on a Tuesday where the Angels follow up that great comeback against the Giants and winning 2 of 3 against the Giants with an opening loss at home to the Pittsburgh Pirates. Yes, the lowly Pirates. And I hate to tell you, I told you so in that little preview. If you've seen it on various social networks that we put out there, the little clip where I was previewing the Pirates and you had to watch, I was kind of wrong with getting to their bullpen being their weakest spot, which it is usually on paper. And their hitters, though, again, don't show too much power. It's the only power they got was from a 38-year-old Andrew McCutchen, who hit the humdinger to put this game away. But by the way, this page is by the fans, for the fans, by the fans. That's how we do it here. But tonight, what a frustrating freaking loss as they lose to the Pirates 9-3. Again, what's that? The Deo count? We had Boo Boo Bear's mommy as boots on the ground messaging me during the game saying at the point before she left the game, they were up to 11 Deos in the 6th inning. So I don't know where it left off at the time. I kind of went in the studio a little bit early after the Pirates were pouring it on because it's like, dude, they're gonna smoke us. And there was a chance in this game. We'll get into all of it as the Angels fall to 11-11, back to 500. The Pirates win their 9th game of the season amongst 15 losses. This was only their 3rd win on the road in 11 games. So they were 2-8 coming into Angels Stadium before they picked up a W tonight. And if you weren't, familiar with their players, maybe you don't play fantasy baseball, maybe you can only name Yanel Cruz or Onel Cruz, whatever his name is, Reynolds and McCutchen. Outside that, you probably can't name any of the other guys that were on the team. Even the starter is unfamiliar to you. And this is a team, again, they're pesky. We talked about, and I brought up the fact that they will single you to death. They will walk you to death. They're pretty decent hitters. Their averages don't show it, but they will be pesky. And all this talk, and let me get into the talking point of Angels baseball, meaning I tuned in a little bit on the way home to listen to Roger, and he was like, oh, I think Soler's going to hit a home run tonight. Oh, I think the Angels are going to win tonight behind the strong pitching of Soriano. Oh, the Pirates are coming in struggling. Oh, it's like everything he said went the exact opposite. And then, of course, all he was saying was, oh, I had the conversation with Adele. Oh. And he was like just spritzing everywhere, talking, they played his little conversation with Adele about the big hit. And yes, it was a clutch hit, but you knew that no matter if they got spanked by the Giants 38-2 in the first 2 games, yet they were able to pull off that last game. It was, let's play the highlights from the walk-off. Oh, because that's all they could do is just propaganda prime minister, a.k.a. PP, Roger Lodge, PP himself, was just doing the usual propaganda. And it's like, okay, that was a nice series, 2 out of 3, but you gotta talk about their futility, striking out way too many times, not getting any hits. I mean, again, when they I feel that FanDuel, aka Bally's, has stolen my thunder since day one of the season, since last season. Even those douchebags on the other podcasts, they all have been stealing my thunder. Nobody talked about how bad the strikeouts was, but all of a sudden now the propaganda's changed a little bit. FanDuel said it today. The other guys we were messaged said it the other day, where they were jocking our shit here saying, hey, the Angels don't have a winning record when they strike out 10 or more times. Hey, they have a way better record when they strike out less than 10 times. Gee, who the fuck's been saying that for the last 3 seasons? This guy. Yeah, this guy. I'm not taking credit for FanDuel per se, but it's got to gotten back to them at some point, because a lot of shit they're saying has been stolen from this show, because we've been saying it for such a long time. And we don't need a dumbass StatCast, because that's what I'm going to flame on both those crews on. Because, again, you're telling me that it's StatCast, exit velocity, launch angle, that's all, it means so much. Really? Then why did Gooby in a sourpuss voice go, well, hey, the Pirates, they got a lot of hits tonight, but they weren't really going off the bat very, very, very fast or hard. Well, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. You don't always need to be hitting 100 miles per hour. How many times did freaking Trout hit 100 miles per hour ground ball right to third base? Because, again, he can never find the green. It's always, if he hits it hard on the ground, it's always at somebody. He doesn't hit those ones that go down the line. He doesn't go the other way, finding the dirt, the green, the open pasture. He doesn't find none of that. But the Pirates poke at the ball. They barely hit flares. I don't care how you do it. Just do it, right? Just do it. Like Shia LaBeouf. I don't care. You don't need to hit the ball 500 miles per hour. It doesn't need that exit velocity. You just need to hit it where they ain't. It's simple baseball. But no, StatCast and Gooba's on, Wayne, and hey, how come they're not doing this? Hey. And then the other one's the same shit. It's stupid. You can't reinvent the wheel. These stats are great for nerds. Again, it fills up a book. It gives them more to talk about. But then again, you could say, oh, well, this, I got a stat for you. It's called the RTTYYZXWY. Yeah, he's got like a 1 point something in that. That's particularly good. Since when? Who cares? It's a made-up stat. It just started. It's dumb. Baseball's baseball. The regular stats, that's all you have to go by. Matchups. How they're playing their defense. Like tonight. Steve Lease right away was like, stupid Adele. No, stupid Trout. And she's like, no, Trout he was calling off Adele. No, ma'am. I've played center field for years. And I was nowhere close to being as good as Mike Trout or Adele. But I can tell you one rule of thumb when it comes to baseball. The center field is your quarterback. He's the captain of the outfield. So if he calls your ass off, hey, guess what? That's no longer your catch. Mike Trout is still thinking like a center fielder because why? He's a rookie in right field. And that was all Adele. And you know what? Adele should have chewed his ass out. But you know what? Adele is cool. Adele kept his calm. He didn't even shake his head. He just threw the ball in, and it is what it is, and they kind of just talked on the way into the infield. And I bet you anything Trout's apologizing on their way into the infield. He should apologize on how he swung tonight. Captain Regress is what I'm going to call him. No, revive in 25. No, spritz in 26.
How dare you?
Damn right, how dare me. Again, the Angels pumped in without that ninth inning the other day in San Francisco at Angel Stadium on Sunday. They had pumped in a total of 5 runs and 14 hits before that last inning barrage against the Giants in 3 games. Today, 3 runs, 5 hits. What changed? Why did they lose this game today? It's a combination. The same old shit on offense and hitting, and couple that with, well, guess what? A starter actually had a bad game. We haven't seen too many bad starts outside of a Kowanowitz start a couple times, and maybe you could throw in a Hendricks once. Outside of that, the Angels pitching starting-wise is giving you 5 or more every start. This was a poor performance by Soriano. He clearly did not have it. The sinker was wild. I mean, wild. Up, down, all around except the strike zone. And when it was in the strike zone, it was very hittable because he was behind on a lot of counts. He set himself up for disaster tonight. So you get 3 runs, 5 hits. Your pitcher pitches poor, and you give up a total of 18 hits. And again, nothing was hit hard outside of McCutcheon's home run. It was just all dinks and doinks all night. So before we get into any awards, before I play you any clips, anything, I loaded up something behind Randy's back, and let's see if he likes it. This is what I think the Angels fans in the stands were thinking about tonight's lineup and what the Angels lineup provided for the fans.
Wiener, 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 next to another wiener, 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 two wieners alongside yet another wiener, party, wiener, party, 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 wiener, wieners, nice and soft, non-erect wieners. Flopping wieners, flopping wieners, dangle wieners, dangle wieners in my bag.
Stop, please. I can't take any more.
There it is. That's the fans. They were by the 7th inning. Enough is enough. Let's look at this lineup, shall we, tonight? Taylor Ward, Big Ears himself, contributed a solo blast. And you know what Angel fans think about the solo blast? They can't get enough of those solo home runs over there by the Angels. So then you had Zach Neto, Big Papa himself, came in with 3 Ks tonight. He gave you the old hat trick. Mike Trout went 0 for 3. He did walk, though, and gave you another strikeout. His average is a robust 177. But don't tell Gooby and the guys on aim 830 because his exit velocity on those outs was amazing. Soler came in with 1 hit tonight. At least he got a flare hit, but he struck out twice, looked horrible on a 3-pitch strikeout in the 7th. Then Ohapi provided 2 more strikeouts with a single. Then you had Shawna with an RBI sacrifice. Then you had Joe Adell go 1 for 4. Kyron Paris, my God, my guy, you need to retrain and watch some more videos, homie. You went 0 for 3 with 3 more Ks. You're now 1 for your last 20. Your average is down to 273. It's still 100 points better than Mike Nelson Trout. Then Newman's like, don't worry, guys. I'm not going to do anything tonight. He went 0 for 2 with a strikeout, giving the Angels a grand total of 12 strikeouts. And guess what? Just like I've been saying the last 3 years, and people have been barely picking up lately because they were all in love with a home run. But I've been saying for 3 years, Angels strike out more than 10 times in a game, they lose almost every time. It's very rare when they win. And when they strike out less than 10, usually they're about 20 games over 500. So again, where is Ron Washington saying, hey guys, can we stop striking out so much? Because we strike out a lot. And when we strike out a lot, we waste a lot of outs and we lose a lot of games. He's got to give him that speech. Because guess what? Pittsburgh only struck out 6 times. A team with a batting average of about, I think, collectively 220. And they struck out only 6 times and put 18 hits up on the board. And no, we did not have a position player pitching tonight. So you can't say it was one of those games. They just were on every inning pressuring. They coupled that with 7 walks. Bad pitching. Yes. You threw nearly 200 goddamn pitches tonight, Angels. 197 pitches thrown. That is a season high for your Angels. They average around 115 to 130 on a given night. They got 197 pitches thrown between 5 pitchers, 84 of which came in 3 1/3 for Soriano as he picks up the loss. He allows 5 runs on 4 walks, just 2 strikeouts. McDaniels comes in, 1 run on 3 hits in an inning and a third. Daryl Hicks pitches out of 2 jams, 2 innings, 3 hits allowed, 2 strikeouts. You had Burke pitch, get into a bit of trouble too. An innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 walk. And then Ian Anderson's like, don't worry, guys. I'm going to put this game to bed. And he did. He allowed 3 more runs. And he just shows you why he's so great and was released by several teams in his career. He's now sporting a robust 11.5 ERA. Wow. Amazing stuff right there. Great stuff. Falter, no fault of his own. 4 innings pitched, 3 runs, 5 hits. He only threw 65 pitches and left the game early. Shugart gets the win in relief. 2 innings pitched. Their bullpen put up straight zeros. So I was wrong about their bullpen. I said, get to their bullpen and watch what happens. I was wrong. They got to their bullpen and nothing happened. But I was right when I said, hey, be careful. These assholes are very pesky. They will go for the little hits. They don't swing for the fences. They put the ball in play. You got to get your defense set. You got to throw your pitches and make them earn it. Nah, let's just throw it down the middle and see what happens when we do throw it down the middle. So the Angels got their ass kicked in game 1. Very, very, very disappointing to start this homestand. Kay Wendell on TikTok says, let's go Bucks. Ron Washington, what the fuck was going on in his head tonight? Guillerto says, I love being an Angels fan. I'm just reading a few of the comments here on TikTok as we get started because there's a bunch of people jumping on right there. And we appreciate that. So with that being said, we took a loss from, I want to say, first pitch to last pitch. And that means one thing, the saddest song ever. My bad, Randy, on that one. You had that button pressed. I'll set you up next time. But that's the saddest song ever, and that's brought to you in part by the OC Dugout. If you want to buy, trade, or sell, go to the OC Dugout and get your collection on, or sell your collection, and tell them Halos in the Infield sent you. They have all kinds of cool stuff for every sport. So now that presents us now to the player of the game, the John Stamos Award. Brought to you in part by 714 Tickets, 714 Tickets, 714 Tickets. You just put HITI in that promo code. Once you have established yourself a login, then you can get tickets on us 10% cheaper plus 5% for your next purchase, I should say. And their ticket prices are what you see. So it's not like Ticketmaster where you go and it's like, oh, $58 for a ticket, Lakers. And then when you're done with the service fee and the taxes, it's like $81. No, it's not like that. It's much better. The price you see is the price you get.
So you're telling me if it's $40, it's $40.
Absolutely. And then you take an additional 10% off of that $40.
I'm sold.
There you go. See? Now, let's play us into that clip now, shall we? The John Stamos Award for Best Player on the Field, it goes to 38-year-old Andrew McCutchen. Andrew McCutchen came through with a walk, he came through with a single, came through with a 3-run blast, and he got 3 RBIs in 5 at-bats tonight to raise his average to 246. He came up there, and he squared that fastball up, and there
he's been doing that since 1906.
And an interesting fun fact that Gooby brought up, he's all, hey, 3 more home runs. He passes Roberto Clemente. Hey. And it's true. I mean, he's been around that long. And kudos to him, dude. He still looks really good out there. And he's going to put in some numbers for them and probably retire a Pirate. But there you go. I mean, he was the catalyst for the win tonight for the Pirates. I mean, there's so many guys with hits tonight for the Pirates. It's ridiculous. Only Valdez did not get a hit. Other than that, everyone else got multiple hits. 3 hits for Pham, who came into the game batting just 140. You had 3 hits for Kiner Falefa. You had a hit for Frazier, a hit for Hayes, 2 for Bart, 1 for Trillo, 2 for McCutcheon, 3 for Reynolds, and 2 for Cruz. I mean, they just tore us up. Again, you had nobody batting 300 in this lineup. Everyone was batting sub 250 before this game. Most of them actually 240 because Reynolds raised his average with 3 hits up to 263. So he was under 250 as well. So they had nobody batting over 250 and they put up 18 hits. That should tell you something. It just tells me they don't watch video. The Angels, we're not taking this team serious tonight, and Soriano didn't have it, and he got beat to hell. Now, who gets a Nacho Night Award?
Nacho Night, oh yeah, Nacho Night. Pile it up, load it high. Extra shame, hold the pride. Grab a fork, take a dive. Dignity's gone, but the cheese survived. Molded cheese, stale chips, what a sight. All your dreams gone tonight. Had a bad night, lost the fight. No more crunch, just take a bite. It's the Nacho Night Award.
Couple quick ones on TikTok. He said, Gustavo says, if they don't light up Heaney tomorrow, this team needs to kick rocks. Also, El Madelon says, thank you so much for the ticket advice. I'm going to go to 714 right now. We appreciate that. Getting to the Nacho Night Award, it's going to go to Mike Nelson Trout. If you didn't think that his bat sucked tonight enough to win the award by striking out and also just really just hitting the ball like whatever, he's just not on it. He's swinging over these pitches again. Got the uppercut swing. It's home run or nothing. What about that throw, baby? What about that throw where he spiked it into the ground and then he points to the infielder like, there it is, go get it. He threw it like 3 feet in front of him. He could have ran up and picked it up and tossed it over to freaking Paris. Instead, he's like, nope, there it is. I threw it. There it is. Bitch, get your own ball. You know what I mean? and then he tops it off with Adele's like, I got it. First out of the inning, I got it. He's like, no, I got it. Boom! Drops the ball. Oops, my bad. That was mine, right? No, no, Trout, that was mine, said Adele. You get the nachos. You look like shit tonight. You should have been DHing. Because right now, everybody, when we signed Soler, well, Soler can't play the outfield. He's not good. Well, Soler, he's going to be our DH. There's no way Trout can be not the DH because Soler's a liability. How many years does Soler have so far? I'll wait. How many years does Trout have so far? I don't know, man. I'm kind of running out of hands right now. It's getting up there. Not too good. Not too good. At this point right now, I'd rather have Soler, your right fielder, every day, all day, every day, all day. And then put Trout in the goddamn batting, what is it called? Have him with a hitting coach, hitting the batting cages day in and day out. I don't want to see him lifting a tire. I don't want to see him doing Under Armour commercials. He shouldn't be having sex with his wife. He should be in the batting cage working on hitting pitches that are rising fastballs because apparently that's his kryptonite right now because he's got that stupid-ass uppercut swing. So frustrated. Randy, hit me in with some of these comments, by the way. First one up, it's Spritz o'clock. What does that mean?
Spritz o'clock, Angels play. Win or lose, we toast today. Sip and cheer, no matter score. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some
Mateo giving us that spritz o'clock. But right away, before we get into the next comment, I just got to say, Bruheim, we had a great time there on Saturday. Had a hell of a nice, tailgate there. A lot of fans showed up. Robert pitched in $200 for beer. $100 went in from James. I threw like $50 into it too. So we had enough right there. Plus people were buying beer that came out. It was great. Good food, good atmosphere. We should be doing it there again on May 10th. Look out for that. Plus a watch party coming up for that. It's the tailgate for the Orioles. And then we're going to have a watch party for the Marlins series. So take advantage of that. Come down to Bruheim and enjoy some really good times with everybody on the Halos crew. Patrick Carrero says, balls in my mouth. Gotta love that. Am I taking care of something?
Check out what I want. I want balls and
in his mouth. Wavy said he'll be there right there. Also, super sticker from Boo Boo Bear's mommy. She endured the cold at the stadium tonight. And how many Deos? She gave us the report earlier. Tyler sends in a super sticker. Thank you so much, Tyler. We're vibing. When I left, the Deos were at 13. They actually had a couple double Deos, right? Balls, and oh no, we suck again. That's 2 sound bites in a row.
Time for you to check out what I want. I want balls and John Stamos.
And oh no, we suck again.
Oh no, we suck again.
There you go, Mateo. Also, you got Mateo says, I could hear the sell the team chants on FanDuel. Yeah, they're going to try to drown that out as much as possible, but I think we're going to get a lot of that. And Pittsburgh Pirates fans are just as pissed as we are. So their fans are probably joining in. Losing to the Pirates, pitiful, Chubbs says. Also, Matt Grillmaster says, Pirates dink and dunked us to death like Todd said. Dude's a psychic. Sometimes I am. Wasn't right on their bullpen. Patrick said Jose Soriano gets the nachos. He was god-awful tonight. No, I know he was awful, but Trout, he outdid him, dude. Mateo says we couldn't make falter. Oh, my God. You've been around too much, Grillmaster. Saucy says the record might not yet reflect it, but this team is on life support. Nice Three Stooges routine in the outfield. Aiden on TikTok says, love Trout spiking the ball. Pretty much summed up the night. That was awesome, dude. He's like, touchdown. Oh, wait, wrong sport. Mateo says, mark the time of death. Rally Chris says, thanks a lot, Angels fans, for making my night even more worse than it already is. Oh, I'm sorry, Rally Chris. Hopefully everything is going all right. Daniel says, hey, everybody, happy Tuesday. Also, Silent E says, Ian Anderson is a bum. Boy, how long do we have to hold on to this guy? Suarez, who we traded for, was DFA'd from the Braves. Come on now. You got to get rid of him as well. Chubb says, welcome to the 2025 Angels season. The past few years were just a dream. Tyler says, front seat to the Buccos hitting parade. Cue Lombardi. He's trying to find it. There you go. Also next one here. Eric Ward says, if Ian Anderson isn't released by tomorrow, I think he will officially be declared the new Suarez. Dude is hot garbage. Yeah, he sucked, man. Jesus checks in with damn big L by Angels. Yes, they got killed. Mike Trout says, RIP to the little girl and her grandfather that passed away in the car accident you saw, Todd, on Saturday in Anaheim by a drunk driver. That is true, Mike. On the way home, we got stuck in some hella traffic. And that's what we found out what happened. There was a drunk driver that, unfortunately, who knows where he was coming back from, but he hit like a family's SUV and they went like tumbling into not the center divider, but the bridge on the side of the freeway, dude. And that it's a miracle anybody survived. I think 4 other people were took into the trauma, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, dude was fine. You know, the one that caused it. So freaking assholes need to burn in hell when they drink and drive. Jim Hoyt says the definition of being drunk is when you talk to your fiance as Roger Lodge. I'm just saying. Okay, I'm gonna bring that up right now. So I'm walking around the stadium as the Halo honk on Saturday, and I'm going through the stands, and we come back down to where Jim's sitting, and my girl's sitting next to Jim and EQ's girl. And I walk up there and I'm all, hey babe, how's it going? Are you doing okay with the game? And I'm like, wait, and I'm like so faded at this point. Like I'm like 11 beers in and I'm like, wait, why am I talking like Roger Lodge right now? And she's like, you shouldn't be in character when you're talking to me. And I'm like, that's true, right? And I'm like, sorry, babe. I mean, sorry. And I'm like, oh, I'm just too drunk. And Jim was just laughing his ass off.
Oh, she wasn't turned on after that. Nothing's gonna work, baby.
Oh, she said she was dry as the Sahara Desert. Midapi says Angel's gonna angel. You got Tamir 20 saying our pitching was garbage tonight. Pirates got 18 hits. What the fuck? Sonny says Trout needs to take his own advice. He's in there swinging out of his mind, trying to hit everything out. He's not hard to get out. Just get ahead of him and throw him some junk low, and he'll bite. It's absolutely true. Also, game one, Dan says, why was Adele given the air when it was clearly in Trout's glove? Was it because Adele ran into him? Explains experienced one. That's up to the people that are calling the balls, strikes, hits, and errors, runs, hits, and errors, I should say. It's their call, and for whatever reason, they felt that Adele was the one that was in the wrong. It's like, no, dude, you have always got to bend the knee to the center fielder, whatever the center, even if he has a worse track to the ball or a worse freaking lane to the ball, you still got to say, okay, it's his. He called for it. So that's on Trout, dude. Trout and Soler being the pop in the lineup is ass. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm telling you, man. And here comes Grill Master. The hot streak was a fluke. DFA. No, I don't think it. Dude, you could see how really good he is. I think Paris will come around, but he just needs to get to that adjust, because it's what I talked about earlier with Kyron. He'll be hot, but when the pitchers adjust to him, this game is about adjustments. You got to adjust it, because if not, you're just going to be left in the wind. And right now, you could say the same thing about Mike Trout. So, Useless Trucker says, like and subscribe. Todd deserves it. The only great thing in Anaheim. Blow me up, Todd. Thank you so much, Useless Trucker. You're the man. I really appreciate that. LV says, fuck that. The season starts tonight. Who said that once, Randy? I'm not sure who said that. Who said season starts tonight? It could be some guy.
We got a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight.
Mateo says, I'm telling you, I'm getting pissed off. This team doesn't turn it around. Oh, we'll flip shit. Ooh, he's getting mad, Mateo. Also, Tyler says, throwing Ian Anderson out there is the big white flag. Flashbacks to Suarez. It's also flashbacks to Nevin saying, hey, we don't chase wins. Remember that? That was awesome. Also, Eric says, horrible loss tonight. McDaniels, Hicks, and Anderson all need to go down ASAP. They're not ready, and Perry is smoking serious crack putting this many rookies in the pen. Also, Eric, there's been several free agents being put out there, and the Angels have not even, offered anything. I mean, it's one thing to be like, okay, we offered him a contract, and they didn't want to sign. They're not offering anybody. Again, Rob keeps saying, dude, Daniel Robertson's out there. The Cleveland assholes just released one of their pitchers who's got good stuff. I mean, any one of these guys could help this bullpen like that. And no, we don't even take a flyer on him. Jesus says Ron Washington for sure is mad. He sure is. Silent E says StatCast needs a Deo count and the section for successes and failures after a Deo. That's a good one, Saudi. LV says, I think the Angels will win the series. It's possible. Heaney's going tomorrow. Don Hammond says, BS game. I'm not looking good. It's not looking good at all. How the fuck do you make the Pirates look like the Dodgers? Well, see, if that was the Dodgers, I think, you'd have about 3 home runs by your boy, Ohtani. Ohtani! Jesus says, horse. Jose Soriano is trash. Don Hammond says 18 fucking hits in one of the worst offenses in baseball. I don't get it, man. Again, if you're not preparing for these teams, you can, like I said the other day in Young Guns, Emilio Estevez, thank you, Randy. He said, I'll make you famous. And the Angels are making them famous because, again, they're making good lineups look like crap. Y'all remember how bad Texas was prior to the Angels coming to Arlington. Y'all remember how bad the Astros were scuffling prior to the Angels coming to Houston. So we're making them famous because, again, if you're not doing your homework, you're not pitching around certain guys, you have an ego to where for some reason Seager's the only masher on that team and you're like, nah, let's pitch to him. And then you got other guys like Alvarez or whatever, and you're pitching to these guys. It doesn't make any sense. Aiden also says, do you think we'd be different team with Mohawk Madden? No, I think it'd be the same. J-Dog says, Jorge Soler will with at least competitive at bat I've ever seen. Yeah, that 3-pitch strikeout was terrible. Eric War says, and I know Anderson isn't a rookie, but he's pure garbage. That's why we picked him up. Again, garbage is what we like to get from like we're that guy that's like, one time I was working, right, and I had extra food that like I was a fatty, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get me some fast food. And I had a sandwich and I had yogurt. I had a soda that I packed for myself in the morning with some grapes. And I saw an old man, and he was very disheveled, and he was digging out of a dumpster, right? He was dumpster diving behind a restaurant. And it's like, I feel bad, dude. Like that's pretty disgusting. And, maybe he's not in his right mind, but let me offer him some food, let me give him some food. So I walk over there and I say, hey man, I didn't eat my lunch. I bought some stuff right here. I want to give you my lunch. Here you go, buddy. He's like, I don't want that shit. And I'm like, what do you mean you don't want that shit? Like, and he, and he had like some like pepperoni and something in his hand, like some spaghetti. I'm like, I'm telling you, this is more appealing than that. And not to him. No. To him, that was the greatest meal ever. So maybe that's how we go about our pitching. It's like they see a Daniel Robertson being offered to them, and they're like, no, I don't want this shit. Give me Suarez 2.0. So I guess if you want to put Perry by a dumpster, that's how that would go. Useless Trucker said, someone said that as the weather warms up, Tyler Anderson will pitch terrible in July and beyond. No, I think he will pitch terrible once we do not trade him again. If we don't get him out of Anaheim, because he's actually, again, trying to pitch his way out of here. Mateo says, I umpired a baseball game today, and my score was 100% accurate. I didn't miss a single pitch. Now you're just bragging, Mateo. But that's good. Good for you. Jesus says, Angels don't play small ball. They don't even know what that is. They literally don't know what that is. Halos Forever says the StatCast is stupid. It is stupid. It just gives nerds something else to talk about. Mateo says, balls, and Todd fuming. Yep.
Time for you to check out what I want. I want balls and John Stamos.
Todd fuming. Also, Aiden says, we love the Braves sloppy seconds. Saucy says, wish this team would. Or I guess, wook. Did you see my 84-foot home run? Yes, I saw it on StatCast, Mike. Was not impressive. Would hit for more contact more. Yeah, I wish they would as well. Jesus says Angels will make Andrew Heaney pitch like an ace tomorrow. That's going to be sad because it probably will happen. Grillmaster says, why is hitting for contact so hard nowadays? If Trout can hit in the bedroom, the team should be able to hit an Angel Stadium with a stick in hand. Here's my thing about that. It's been devalued. Valued. That's why nobody bunts in this team. At least with, the Mad Hatter, Madden, we actually bunted sometimes. We did, suicide squeezes and stuff. I mean, the Angels did that a lot under Socha, but they don't do anything like that. They don't hit and run, nothing. Silent E says all game Gooby with a home diarrhea every at bat was, if he can get a hold of one right here, or he has a chance to get a big one here, Lodge should give Gooby big one, unscrew the old balls and balls.
Time for you to check out what I want. I want balls and John Stamos.
I think it's this one. I would have to find that one for you right here, Randy. That's the one down here. Hold on a second. Let me get it up. It's the one way at the bottom. It's under Super K Roger.
Let me tell you something about my guy John Stamos. So I was able to go in the back bedroom and unscrew the old
balls and running up my butt right now.
You get out of it what you put into it. John Stamos
choked on me.
He was so great.
Yeah, and today that fool said, I'm no bootlicking house man. Yeah, you are. You most certainly are. Eric says the whole lineup is out of whack. We all know that we need a table setter to lead off with speed. I would let Neto or Paris lead off at this point. Put Renifo at number 2, Trout 3, or then Trout and Soler hack. They need to move those guys down, dude. I mean, I'm serious right now. Shonowell and Ohapi are at least putting the barrel on the ball. Trout has the worst right field defense rating. I can see that. Dan says what the Pirates did tonight reminded me of the 2002 Angels. That team singled the opposers to death. They did. And if you think about it too, last year when the Angels played the Marlins in that series, I think they lost 2 out of 3. to the Marlins, and that's all the Marlins did was just beat him to death with singles. Botched Investigation says Angels are teasers. Yeah, they're the kind that kind of open up the top a little bit, and then right when you're like, and then you get a little closer. No. Boo Bear's mommy says whoever is putting the video montage together at the beginning of the game needs to get rid of the memoriam. It's depressing, dude. You aren't lying, Boo Bear's mommy. Okay, real quick. I've gone to just about every Angel game except tonight, and I think tonight. And so, man, the memoriam is supposed to be for game one. It's supposed to just say, hey, this is what happened in the offseason. Look at all the players we've lost. Look at the history of the game, the magic of the players is, we dim their lights. And, let's pay homage to those in the front office, the ball players, the managers. It's a touching thing. Okay. Tell me why are they playing it in the throughout the San Francisco series, and now Boo Bear's mommy says in the Pirates series? Why are we playing that? That is, you're not getting anybody hyped at all. And the DJ once again sucks. I mean, if it's just not 100 deos per game, he's also playing the worst songs at the worst time in the game. It's just pathetic all around. Eddie Perez says what we want: sell the team. Cash on Tic Tac says DFA our boy Anderson, Ian Anderson. Jesus says Angels and Mike Trout buttercupped. Yeah. Also, Dan Rio says Klaus didn't put fuel in the Stukas. They're grounded. Yeah. The Luftwaffe. Eric Ward says that air was all on Trout. That seriously was fucking embarrassing. It was. Useless Trucker says looking at Trout's number, emotional damage. He should be benched.
Emotional damage.
Grillmaster says Storiano struggled mightily. Get back out there for next time. I think he'll get it back next time. Courtney checks in with all the way around. We didn't play as a team today. Everyone was being individuals and trying to get the big hit, even though we were down by a lot. Yeah. Conventional wisdom, Courtney says, is supposed to be, hey, let's get a guy on. Let's see what happens. We can work a walk. Let's do what we did in the ninth inning the other night. Nah, quickly we forget. How quickly do they forget? The Pirates had a lot of excuse me swings, but they put it where they weren't. That's a big thing. Geez, we lose hard. Jose says. Eric Ward says Soriano is streaky, but he's going to swing at everything. Or that's just him. Also, Todd, cue the circus music. That's towards the bottom. There you go. Yeah, see, that song should be when they announce the Angels lineup. Until they get better, that's their music. Someone honked all over Taylor Ward's noodle arm post when Ward hit a solo good for nothing home run. I'm covered in honk juice while I'm at work. Thanks a lot. Cue honks after solo home runs. Silent E did post that picture of the noodle arm, and people got pretty pissed. Mateo says, who else is convinced that shirtless Todd was bad luck? Look, I don't know how to reverse that, okay? I'm sorry, Mateo. You put your hand down, Randy. Eddie Perez says, my honk was limp tonight. They got pills for that. J-Dog says, Roger is like, oh, Kyron Paris is one for the last 17, but hey, at least he still has the highest batting average. Hey. Also, someone should be fired, Patrick says. Green Kid checking in says, told y'all we were just playing slump bum teams and barely beating those teams. We're playing decent teams now, and you're seeing the actual product. I told y'all mid-April is the cliff to the Angels have been. Now for a while. I'm sorry, Green Kid. I mean, everyone has hope. We're trying to see if possibly this team can just last a little bit longer this year. We don't want the season to end in April. Mike Trout says, El Demente Suarez got DFA by the Braves. Yes, he did.
Can we pick him up?
No, we don't want to go back to that. We do not. Jesus says Kevin Newman should be in AAA or AA. He should be in the Korean League at this point. Mateo says, I'm telling you, let me run the offense. I'm an offensive coordinator, and I did an onside kick on opening kickoff of game one.
Well, this is baseball, pal.
What's your onside kick for baseball, Mateo? Joshua says those umps are blind in the strike zone. Yep. Eric says Angels are still an improved team at 11-11. They're going to have an average to go above average team, or they're going to be average to an above average team. And I'll take that after the last decade, but going to be a lot of nights like tonight. Yeah. That's the thing. You may actually see a 4 to 6 game win streak at some point. And then you'll more than likely see a 4 to 6 game losing streak. So that's what this team's going to provide you. Trade Trout, Eddie Perez. If only he had a value at this point. Ron Washington is a big L, Jesus says. Also, Mateo, the Angels throw so many pitches that damn pitch com died. It was pretty bad. Can someone tell Kyron Paris to stop trying to hit 500-foot piss missile every pitch? You know, if I get another what's it called? If I get another interview with him, yes, I will tell him, hey man, just ease it in there. You don't need to swing and make everyone cool with the bat speed like a fan in left field. Courtney says, I do not care about StatCast or analytics. 100-mile-per-hour line drive into someone's glove for an out does not automatically get us more runs. Small ball and contact hitting wins games. Preach, sister, because she's been talking about that since we first met her. I mean, she's been saying contact. She's a Super Angels fan, and it's true. It is so damn true, and it is so sad that they have not. I mean, I wish Courtney would go in there and just tell him, hey, look, the proof's in the pudding. The numbers don't lie. U2 says the Angels need to get their shit together.
Well, then get your shit together. Get it all together and put it in a backpack. All your shit. So it's together. And if you got to take it somewhere, you know? Take it to the shit store and sell it. Or put it in a shit museum. I don't care what you do. You just got to get it together. Get your shit together.
Ian Anderson is just a white, we'll say Suarez. Jim Hoyt says Pitt's batting 220, 300 if you're still with them, Todd. Maybe if I still was with them, if I made the majors. Todd ate crow on the Pirates bullpen. I sure did. Also, Chubb says, I'm hoping that the Rage blowout tomorrow after the cold bats tonight. Doubt it will happen like that, Tampa Bay, though. Or to be honest, though. The starting pitcher was giving me an aneurysm. Soriano was throwing balls for days all over the place, and Ron Washington was just sticking his fingers in his ears and going, la, 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 la. Yeah, he's like, la, 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 la. Tony C says, Kyron needs to be set back down. Get rid of Daryl Hicks and Anderson. Todd, you are the man. This is an embarrassing loss. I hope Jose is not hurt. Why are we looking at strikes right down the middle? I don't know. It's that off-speed stuff. Angel's grandma says Joe Adele had 2 hard-hit line drives to left field, 2 consecutive games to drive in 4 runs, and he almost got another one. Tommy Pham made a spectacular running catch. That was a difficult catch. I mean, he ended the game, too, if anyone stuck around for that, too, robbing I forget who it was for a home run, but he robbed someone of a home run. But earlier in the game, like, it was a blast off of Adele's bat, and he freaking caught it. That would have been another double. Joshua says we need Stevenson back, and I actually agree with that one. It's your boy says, glad to I didn't tune into today's game. Yeah, he didn't miss nothing this time. Also, Patrick says Soriano was killing himself out there. The Pirates all they needed to do was just stand there and not swing. Jose Soriano was in his own worst enemy tonight. He was. And that's a problem, I will say real quick. Where was Barry Enright other than one time coming out there? You know, how come, Ron Washington didn't come out there? He was literally having footing problems, release point problems. I mean, you could tell that his shit was not there, and it was off bad. So, I mean, there was no adjustments other than the one inning where I guess they talked to him in the dugout. But yeah, I thought there was missed opportunities there, even by Ohapi. Next one there, Jim Hoyt says Suarez DFA. Manassian will resign him for old time's sake. Yeah, I'd put money on that. Ulysses Stan account says, surprise, surprise, the Angels lose again after a day off, and again, the first game of the series. Hashtag Halos are trash. I'm sure that hashtags will go over great on angels.com. Marty says, we suck again. He's not saying we're so back. That's usually what he goes with. The next one here.
Oh, no!
Oh, there
We
you go.
suck again!
Yeah. I was waiting. Is it a comment? Oh, put some respect on McCutcheon's name. Absolutely, Courtney. That dude is balling out still. J-Dog says, hey, the only team Mike Trout hasn't hit a home run against is the Pirates. Hit it out, Trout. Exit velocity. Hey. Yeah, I mean, that's all they're asking for. JM says, double ears with a solo blast. Nothing changes, and Trout in right field needs to end. It's been kind of embarrassing. Kind of. I mean, the spike is the best one so far. I mean, if you didn't like the spike, I mean, Jesus. Clutch getting into the Hall of Fame. Yeah, I think he is. Absolutely. He's put up a great resume. It's just too bad they had a little run there with Pedro Alvarez and a few other Pirates that were pretty good when they had the guy from the Yankees now, the pitcher, Cole. I mean, they had some good teams with A.J. Burnett. I mean, that team should have won a World Series or at least been in one. J-Dog says Andrew Heaney is definitely going to carve right through the lineup. Yeah, he is. And did you hear, though, in the 8th inning, Wayne was like, hey, Andrew Heaney gives up a lot of home runs to right-handed pitchers or right-handed hitters, and the Angels got a lot of them tomorrow, and they're going to be swinging for the fences. It's like, no shit, they're going to be swinging for the fences. And then he proceeds to then contradict himself by saying, yeah, but Heaney's only given up 1 home run so far this year. So you just said he's susceptible. I can't even speak, but I got that list going on. But he can give up the home run in theory, but he's only given up 1 this year, and you expect him to give it up to a team that is really slumping the next game. Yeah. Okay. Makes sense, Dick. Asus is listening to the pregame show on AM 830. Buttercup Lodge was statting how team batting averages for the Pirates are so laughable. Jokes on us. Yes, that's why you can't follow StatCast. You got to follow the trends. And the trends were telling me yesterday, the Angels don't watch too much video. And they put in a lot of effort into the Giants. But just conventional wisdom and how they've played the last few years, there's a very good chance they're going to take the Pirates easy. They're going to take them lightly, and they're going to think they're rollovers, and they could just pitch however they want, hit however they want, and they're not a good team. Well, the joke's on us, definitely, like you said. Marty says Trout needs to be a DH. That's it. No more throwing the ball into the turf at the base of his feet. Mateo says, I can use 714 tickets for playoff. Yes, you can. You could use 714 tickets for a goddamn concert in Oregon if you want. Courtney says, my son throws harder than Trout. Mateo says, how does Adele get charged for that error? I don't know, man. That's right there. I think that's one of those things where, when you're in the NBA and they call a foul just for the hell of it because you're kind of harming a superstar or you kind of slapped them, but you get slapped across the face and your eyes hanging out and they don't call a foul. It's the respect thing. I think they respected Trout and they were like, yeah, let's put this one on Adele. When it was clearly Trout. JC says, or J-Dog says, maybe less New Balance commercials and more hitting the baseball. That too. Grillmaster says, I told you Adele sucks. # Steve Elise. By the way, shout out to Steve Elise. Her aunt passed away. It was like a second mother to her. Very emotional last night. I was supposed to do a podcast with Fernando. We didn't wind up doing that. And we went to her family's house and they're still all reeling. They're in Houston. So we might be making our way out to Houston. I'm not sure when that's going to happen or if it's going to happen, but just letting you guys know, unfortunately this year has sucked already. The month of April, we've lost a few Angel fans over there on Facebook. We lost our girl here on Instagram, Yvette. So, and just, it sucks. So just thoughts and prayers for everybody's family. Everyone seems to be going through something. I know James has something personal going on too. So there's just a lot of stuff going around. So thoughts and prayers with everybody out there. Hang tough, man. Demetrio says 11-11 after 22 games. Basically what we are, a borderline 500 team. Is hockey season here yet? It's still going, but not for the Ducks. Mike Trout says, no, Todd, I need sex. You notice I haven't had sex since Friday night. That's why I can't hit well I need tonight. Listen, Mike, I don't know when you do or when you don't, but just going by my dad's theory, you not having sex works better for the Angels. Also, oh man, double Deos are killer. Yeah, that's right. We had a lot of Deos. Hey, you think Mike Trout actually has that going on in the bedroom? In between. That gets the woman in the mood. Boo Bear's mommy says some people in the crowd kept trying to start the "Let's Go Angels," and I didn't even care to join in. Boy, you are one of us. You are one of us, because there's sometimes where they try to do the "Let's Go Angels" and we're pitching in a jam. It's like that makes no sense. It's sort of like when the fans do the wave and we're pitching. Like some fans are like, no, that distracts the hitter. No, that distracts the pitcher and the defense. So you want to do the wave when the Angels are hitting, and you want to chant "Let's Go Angels" when they're hitting. That's one of the reasons why I don't drink alcohol no more. Also, we get swept by the Pirates without Skeens throwing one pitch. Don't jinx us, Marty. It might just happen. J-Dog says also, well, it's been a great season until next year. We still have 140 games left. So don't start. Trout is turning into Vernon Wells, all physical and no more baseballer. Wow, that's a bad comparison, but good at the same time. Demetrio says, Todd, what can we do to make the movement stronger against the Angels regime? I want change. I want to win. I don't want to be the Tuesday night side girl of MLB teams. Well, that would involve everybody, and I mean everybody on this page, fans in the stands, the old folks, and the AM 830, or not the people outside of the AM 830, to actually man up and join a cause, start a cause, stick to the cause, and do something. But until fans I would have thought, 6 years, 7 years would be too much of futile baseball after the success that we had. But it's going on 11 years. So, and me love you long time, Mateo.
There's a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight, which makes me so horny, and me love you long time.
Mike Trout and Jorge Soler are both turning into Adam Dunn. Oh, that kind of reminds me of Randy. Do you remember Richie Sexson?
Yeah, for the Mariners, right?
Remember how he fell off too?
Oh yeah, he fell off hard, dude.
Richie
he was like one of those guys, he was like, oh, this guy's gonna be hot, and then freaking a couple years, and all of a sudden,
yeah, the dude was striking out more than he had at bats, it seemed. So yeah. Todd talking about Paris being hot. Q Lombardi.
What the hell's going on out here?
Also, Patrick says, Q, My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion, because this ship is sinking faster than Paris Hilton getting STDs. Oh, that's disgusting. Dan says, if it was on Trout, then why E8? I don't know. That was just a bad call. Have you seen the Angels and the Diamond Club guy on Twitter? The most honkish person I've ever seen. No, I haven't. What's his you gotta put in the comments what's his well, I'll troll him for sure if you put that. What is it called? His name or whatever his handle. Boo Bear's mommy says this is what happens every year. Just the past 20 games in the season. We're going to have a lot of trouble in May. Ooh. David Robertson, Tristan McKenzie recently DFA'd by Ohio, Spencer Turnbull, just 3 pitchers right there, just to name 3. Yeah, you pull those 3 guys on minor league deals and bring them up in about a couple weeks, and I guarantee you that transforms the bullpen like that. Marty says it was inevitable. They took a loss after a day off and traveling 30 minutes back to their homes. Boys were clearly tired. Yeah, that's tough. Dan says Soriano's fine. His release was off. That's the coach's job. Agreed. Sapphire says, bro, this team stinks with Newman. Get him out of here. And EQ was at the game tonight too. Also, J-Dog says, wow, you ran into Artie Moreno IRL. I don't want that shit. Sapphire also says everyone in the Trout farm was motivating everyone. What the fucking happened to everyone? Not no more. Silent E says it's crazy that JD Martinez is still out there and we haven't even tried. We say this every year. They do not, and I mean do not, go out there and try to pick up any of these guys. They dumpster dive, but the value, the ones that are actually out there for value, the Angels just refuse. Don says, can we blame Tyler Anderson for wanting to pitch his way out of here? He's tired of this terrible baseball we play. You know what, Don? Imagine, and I hate saying this because you know, Don, you've been around on our page forever. Imagine being on the Dodgers, and I hate the Dodgers, but I'm going to give him credit right here. So he's on the Dodgers of world-class organization, ownership all the way down, right? And then you get shipped here or you sign here, right? And you're expecting to turn the Angels around or them to turn around, and you see the team for what it really is. So I don't blame him for falling apart last year, and I don't blame him for pitching his ass off this year. He should get traded. Even if the Angels are like close to a wild card spot, I'd still trade him for the future. I mean, he's not going to be around for much longer. Next one's, I already read that one. Tyler says, has anyone picked up Honeywell yet? No, I believe he's still a free agent as well. Rally Chris says, I love you, Angels. And then Tyler says, I think it's time to swing away. That commercial. Don says, Trout has regressed so much, man. He used to be almost impossible to get out. Now he's an automatic out. What the hell happened? Chasing the long ball, dude. He fell into that. He loves, and I mean loves, the launch angle. Patrick Carrero says, I hate the stadium's audio system. I wish they would put a pipe organ back in Angel Stadium, embrace the fourth oldest stadium in the league. No, that's smart, Patrick. And you came up with too smart of a take right there. So obviously the Angels will do the opposite. More DJs. Juan says, game sucked tonight. Sorry, energy from the team. No, it's cool. I mean, we were watching the same shit. Courtney says, I've been to more Padres games this season just because the environment is better. Plus the DJ is amazing and not a Deo in sight. Mateo says, what was Matt Theis saying? He was saying, dude, those guys on the other podcast were heard making fun of a high player like you've been doing the last few years, and they thought it was funny, and they put it in their show. Todd, they're copying you.
I know that, dude.
Exactly. By the way, I kind of miss our boy Big 20 a little bit. You know, ever since he's had sex, he's not around anymore. You know, maybe we were the thing holding him back. Boo Bear's mommy says, I will take responsibility for Todd's shirtless jinx. I wanted him to dance and he refused. That's still on me. See, you were the center fielder, Boo Bear's mommy. And you were telling me, I got it. Dance. And I'm like, no, shirt off. And then we bumped into each other. Tyler says, Randy's Golden Girl poster is still dripping from Sunday's win. What a honk. That is disgusting, dude. And there's probably half the audience has no idea what that show is. Speaking of bum stories, Todd, I caught some loser going through my recyclables this morning. It was an omen for tonight's game. Fuck. Also, Tyler says, don't worry, boo-boo. We all wanted to see Todd's tatas.
Wow, winning.
You guys got to see him all right. Mateo says, Jansen needs to have a closed-door meeting. He needs to get out there to pitch. Silent E says, it's okay to honk, that your honk is limp. I think most of us here suffer from erectile dishonk.
Emotional damage.
I told him up those pills that Todd mentioned are the cure for the cause of honkism. Weak honk isn't bad. Patrick Carrero says, analytics are good for evaluating players to piece your team together or trade for. But when it comes to actually managing a game, analytics should be out the window. Just play baseball. I agree. I'd rather go with gut, but that's just me. Wayne's dialogue on the broadcast is all scripted. He has to talk about home runs and how many guys or how many pitchers gives up because the organization is preaching analytics all the time. They sure are. And they are also preaching Star Wars night. Patrick Carrero says Soriano would have been pulled in the second inning. That was initially what killed the team. And then all the strikeouts and Trout fucking up was just a cherry on the top of a shit Sunday. Also, my 9-month-old grandniece throws better than Trout. Wow. Piling on. Tyler says Suarez has one of the highest ground ball rates. Cue the Buccos' endless line drives. also, or Soriano, he meant, raise the freaking Jolly Roger right up our fat cheeks. Hey, Todd, I'm just curious, how did you become an Angels fan? Real quick, this is my dad, third generation. Grandpa and him went to games at old Wrigley Field in downtown Los Angeles. And then they went to some of the first games at it was Dodger Stadium when the Angels were there. And then he went to games, obviously, when they first opened up in Anaheim, too. So my first memory was walking into Anaheim Stadium when it was closed in as a 6-year-old. As a 7. No, I take that back. He took me to my first game when I was 8. It was 88. I had watched games with him since 86 because I remember almost going to the World Series. That's how old my ass is. And then, that's how I became an Angels fan. It was Angels first, and then the Seahawks and Sonics came because when I was 12 or 13 in the summer, or in the wintertime, I should say, I spent the wintertime up there with my uncles, and basketball was getting going with the Sonics, so they took me to Key Arena. They had season tickets, and then they had season tickets for the Seahawks, so I went up there and saw the Seahawks in the Kingdom. So it's the only reason why I don't like the Rams, Raiders, and anything California or any other team. I already read that one right there. That was earlier. I think he doubled that one up. Don Hammond says Trout has regressed. Oh, he read that one too. I think he went backwards. Yeah, you went backwards. Yeah, I think you got to catch up on the. Yeah, we just did that one right there. The Grill Master one. We almost get it. Damn, there's like over 200 people on right now. Mike Trout says, Grillmaster, don't compare me to Squid. So disrespectful. Ocean View says, I would trade Mike Trout. I don't like his energy. He acts like he has a government job. I can go somewhere with that, but I won't. Tony C says, smash that like button. Todd, your team does a great job. Keep it up. Revamp the bullpen. The Pirates have a few relief pitchers that are pretty good. Maybe we could swing a trade for Taylor Ward. The problem is, Tony C, they wanted that dude in the offseason, and the Angels are like, no. And like Dikembe Mutombo, RIP. Is that it on the comments? Okay, we're caught up. So with that being said, we went through a lot of them. What's Papa Fox saying? Well, basically, he went in and made himself a dessert. So we were watching the game, all three of us on the couch right there, and he gets up and he's like, well, this game's over. I don't see them coming back. And so he went to the kitchen, and all of a sudden I'm hearing like the clanking because, my dad, for whatever reason, needs everyone to, know the fact that he's eating or hear it. So he was freaking just hammering the bowl with a spoon, and it was highly annoying as he licked every morsel of ice cream. El Barto says, oh no, we suck again, and fart sounds. So that's a double one. Oh man, what a tough loss. And we'll go over the stats here real quick again as the Angels went down, and they went down hard. Let's see. Hold on a second. I just had it right there. Here we go. Yeah. So you gave up 18 hits to a team that was that had a collective batting average around 220, no hitter over 250 up until not McCutchen, but Reynolds got 3 hits tonight. 9 runs, 18 hits, no errors. Angels mustered 3 runs on 5 hits. Again, it took them 3 games to get 14 hits. Whereas look at this, 1 game, 18 hits. So Pirates, Angels game 2 and 3 will be Wednesday and Thursday. Both 6:38 starts. There was an announced crowd of 30,000. I didn't think it was. But you had Bart singling to right to get the scoring started. It was 1-0. Then Hayes made it 2-0. Ward hit a useless home run. McCutchen then followed it up with a big one, 3-run homer, 5-1. Shonowell got the Angels in it with a sacrifice fly. Then Adele had a nice double to make it 5-3. You're thinking, okay, we're going to come back again. But then, oh no, Kyler Fanefla scores a run on a single to make it 6-3. Then he would come up again in the 9th to get some more add-on runs. And before you know it, it was all she wrote, 9-3. And just to play it again, I got to play this one again. Or can you play that Wiener song? Because I think that's how the Angels fans feel about this loss tonight.
Wiener, 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 next to another wiener, 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 two wieners alongside yet another wiener, party, wiener party, party, wiener, wieners nice and soft, non-erect wieners. Flopping wieners, flopping wieners, dangle wieners, dangle wieners in my bag.
Stop, please. I can't take it anymore.
We got a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight.
140 more games, and please, no more wiener games. But I'm sure we're going to talk about the lineups with their flaccid bats and their soft bat swings. I mean, no torpedo bats. Halo Joe says, what did I miss? You missed a hell of a night tonight. It was a tough loss as the Angels go down big time here tonight, 9-3. And I'll throw the bat signal out there. We might take a quick 2-minute call if anyone wants to jump in, or at least get you on the show real quick to see if we can talk to maybe someone that was there at the game, or maybe Terry Smith can give us a little insight on why the Angels are struggling so much, or maybe even Artie can check in and give us his thoughts on how much he drank tonight, and maybe if good old Sapphire was right there, because Mateo's already asking for Artie to call it. I don't know. I kind of prefer some Terry tonight, because maybe if Terry can let us know what the count is, at this moment, even though the game's long over. Unfortunately, it was not a here we go. That was quick. Terry must have a lot, not much going on there. Terry?
Hey, Sparky, how are you?
It's Todd, by the way.
Go ahead. Keep screwing that up. Sorry about that.
We talked at the game. Remember I interviewed you?
Yeah, you did. You were telling me that I should probably tuck my shirt in when we were before we turned the cameras on, but I told you I have kind of a complex about my body right now. Not very comfortable.
Gotcha.
Count his own too.
Who's batting right now anyway?
I got it's like there's no game on, Todd. I'm just bored.
Do you just call balls and strikes when you're sleeping, like sort of like snoring, like 2-2?
I do. I do. It drives my wife crazy sometimes. Yeah, there's one hide inside. That's ball one. Count is 1-2.
Terry, can we get a pause for station identification?
We're going to pause for stations to identify themselves. This is the AM 830 van coming to you live. Also catch us on the Angels radio app.
Goated.
By the way, Terry, can you just give us what it would have been like back in the day if we had interleague baseball in the 80s or 90s and Jim Abbott was facing Andy Van Slyke?
Oh boy, that'd be something, wouldn't it? Here's that Jim Abbott up at the up on the bump. Give it a stare down at home plate. And here's the pitch. And that one's gone. Jim was a lot better pitcher than that, but that's usually what I remember calling when I was in my bedroom watching the games.
Terry, you're very animated, and this is considered to be animated for being in a van most of the day. And, only being able to, you're calling a game from a van. You're smelling the hot dogs, obviously, from the vendors from outside, and then the OG's Pizza, by the way.
You're making me hungry there, Todd.
I'm just saying, and you got Klaus running around the van. There's a lot going on, but we don't get you out enough. I mean, you look pale as like one of those white whales, because you have no color to your skin. You don't get out of that van that much. And there's a lot going on around you. I mean, haven't you talked to Artie yet?
Well, it goes without saying, Todd, I could use some vitamin D. And I've talked to Artie about that, and he just tells me no, and I have to go back in. But there's some good times coming out of the AM van, but luckily he allows me to get off every weekend when I do my side job hustle at the Laugh Factory in Covina, California.
Oh, please
Count
tell me you have.
Count his own 4.
Please tell me you have some jokes, please.
I have some here that I wrote down. If you want to, want me to shoot them out there to you, if that sounds okay, as the fans are. Hey, by the way, if you guys don't know, I coined the phrase "trout of here," just so you know.
I just want
That
to
was
go
for
back
me.
to the 0-4 count.
Count is 0-17.
Ball 8.
But by the way, Randy, get the drums ready for when he hits the joke right there.
Didn't know Randy was a drummer.
No, but never mind. The rim shot.
Rim shot. That's perverse.
That's a drink at Chico's.
Whoa, hey now. I did a couple of appearances at Chico's, some signings, and boy, I was very uncomfortable.
Well, let's hear some of those jokes, Terry.
Okay, here we go. Hey, how are you guys doing out there? Oh, chat room again. I forgot. We're on the internet. So my grandfather has the heart of a lion and a lifetime ban at the zoo. Why does Snoop Dogg use an umbrella?
No idea.
Faux drizzle. See, I'm trying to relate more to the youngsters.
You're urbanizing a little bit.
Yeah, I'm doing that. Count his own too. So the wife says to me, I can't believe that you went to a prostitute to have sex. And I said, well, what did you expect? We haven't done anything for months. She said, well, you could have told me you were paying. I was blessed with a 9-inch penis. That priest is in jail now. A woman I slept with told me I had the biggest penis she's ever seen. Turned out she was blind and she was just pulling my leg.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
My wife is a sex object. Every time I ask for sex, she objects. A woman breaks up with a man with a small penis. His friends were amazed. He didn't seem to get hurt or fazed by the breakup. He said, it's okay. I wasn't that into her anyway. There you go. Count his own too. My favorite sex position is called wow. It's where I flip your mom over. It's my personal favorite one there. I saw a man smoking in church on Sunday. I was so shocked that I nearly dropped my bottle of gin. Thank you, Randy. Count his own 3. What is green and smells like pork?
I have no idea.
Kermit's finger. I like my women like I like my coffee. Crazy hot and all over my crotch when I'm driving. A gay guy would say, I like my women like I like my coffee. I don't like coffee. This has been brought to you by everywhere you by Mott's. Everywhere you go, the kids are enjoying their fabulous fruit taste of Mott's fruit packs. And everything inside like cinnamon and strawberry and Dutch apple spice. They got the Mott's because Mott's got the taste. Family 4-pack?
Yeah, I think I got one for you this time.
Oh, great. Hey, maybe I could go check out the baseball game live. That would be great.
If they let you in. I think you're the only one that gets banned more than me.
Yeah, Klaus always tells me no when I try to get in there. I don't know why, but he just does that.
Boy, Terry, I got to say something before you run. You went hard on the sex jokes this time. Pause.
Oh, I'm trying to stay a little edgy there, Sparky. I'm trying to get the Trying to get up there with the likes of Andrew Dice Clay and those fellas.
You're so close.
Oh, good for you. Oh,
Hopefully, one of these days.
Marty's having a good time. Mateo likes it too, so just letting you know.
Oh, well, I'm glad. Hey, it always makes my night to know I could get a chuckle or a tee-hee out of one of you guys. You know, I called up the Locked On station and did some of my jokes, and I think I made one of them pee.
Well, if they were
different
sitting down,
reaction.
they're probably used to that. So
Never had a reaction like that before, but I think they were urinating. Very uncomfortable. Almost as uncomfortable as my signing over at Chico's in Montebello.
I don't want to know about that. Please.
Oh boy, it was the smell of leather and Vaseline was in the air.
these nuts. Got him.
Is right. Well,
right,
Todd, it was good talking to you again, and good. See, I haven't called in a while. It's been a while.
It has been.
But, you know, just happy to call in and say hi to you and all the fans over there. And well, I just gotta let you go on your merry way here. My name is Terry Smith, and I'm out of here.
He gone.
Terry Smith, everybody. Wow, when he's not stuck in the back of an AM 830 van, he is making his way to Chico's over there in Montebello. He's always there for Happy Night or whatever they call it. So, yeah, great show tonight, everybody. I appreciate Randy getting on. Terry's jokes are always gold. Marty loved it. He still had over 200 people at one point here live. That was great on the 3 different networks here. Appreciate that. Everyone in the comments, we much and greatly, deeply appreciate.
I'm by winning. I win here and I win there.
Well, we love you guys chiming in. I'm sorry, I can't talk tonight. Got a lot going on for the rest of the week. Big news, you're going to have the Lone Star Halo. If you guys are going to the game on Thursday, Lone Star Halo will be there with myself. We'll be watching the game and enjoying hopefully an Angels win in Game 3 of the Pirates series. He's coming in town. He's going to be here with his family just for a few days. So we're going to be there, and we should have a couple other people show up too. So it should be fun. On Thursday. Tomorrow I can't make the game, but I will be on here for the post game right after the game tomorrow night. So we appreciate everything, and you guys chiming in and liking and subscribing. That makes a difference. Also sharing. Continue to do that. We really appreciate that, and hopefully on other parts of social media to share our posts that we all make on here. We all chime in at different times. It's very cool, and we appreciate all the love. So with that being said, any final thoughts, my man, Randy?
Nope, just the Angels are back, baby.
We're so back. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Go Angels.